Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm dropping brand new videos on topics such as public speaking, social skills, emotional intelligence, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below, hit that bell notification, and never miss another video again. If you're a returning viewer, go on and help me out by dropping that like right on below as we enter the world of how to bounce back from tough times. The following story is from my book, Limit Breaker, 101 Short Stories, Essays, and Insights to Improve Your Communication Skills. This book is currently available on Amazon Kindle Unlimited and paperback. I'll drop the link for the book in the description box and the pinned comment right on below. There was this one stage of my life when I was in the College of Engineering, and there was this one guy, let's just call him Zack. Zack was a guy that I was very jealous of. I was jealous of him because it seemed like he just had everything. The professors loved Zack. The other students loved Zack. And Zack would routinely score so great on grades and the different quizzes, all of that. It just seemed like Zack had everything. The reason that I was so jealous of Zack was because I didn't think he deserved all the good stuff that he had. Why? Because Zack was a notorious cheater. He wouldn't do his own work. Instead, he would use his elevated communication skills to let the nerds let him copy from them. And since he was so well connected, what happened was his past family members who had already completed the College of Engineering would give their past tests to Zack. And this is why Zack was able to con all these different people, and he was able to create this facade of being this top tier student. I didn't like this at all because I was over here working very hard. I was pulling all these all-nighters. I was studying so much only to be getting a fraction of the grades that this guy got. It just seemed like Zack had everything. Fast forward a couple of years. Now, at this stage, we've graduated from College of Engineering and we've begun our careers. One day, Zack messages me on Facebook and he's like, hey, Armani, where are you working nowadays? I told him, and he's like, do you think your company can hire a guy like me? I was like, wait a minute, you work in one of the best engineering firms out there. Why do you want to switch companies? And he's like, it's because I got fired. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, man, it's too long to type. You wanna get a quick call going? So we get a quick call going, and he starts to tell me his demise after graduating from the College of Engineering. What began to happen with Zack was that his perfect life began unraveling in real time. The first job that he got after he graduated, he was fired from it because he didn't understand basic engineering principles. For his second job, once again, he got fired for the same exact reason. And for his third job, it got so freaking bad that his manager was like, I don't think you actually graduated from the College of Engineering. I think you're lying. Tomorrow, I'm going to be giving you an exam to see whether or not you can answer basic engineering questions. If you fail this exam, you are fired. And you could tell how he scored on the exam because he was Facebook messaging me. Here was Zack, this guy that I saw as the peak of what it meant to be a superstar, suddenly having tough times. And this wasn't something that I was happy to see. I mean, sure, I was jealous of him for a certain period, but I don't think anyone that is a normal person wants to see someone struggling this much. He wasn't sure if he could pay his credit card bills. his rent, and he didn't know if his family was going to be disappointed in him. At this stage, Zack was in rock bottom. I did my best to try to get him a job at my company, but seeing that he got fired from his prior 2 to 3 companies, this company that I was working for did not want to take the risk. We maintained contact for the next couple of years, but nothing too specific or too personal. More years went on by, and at this stage, Zack was different. He was no longer working in an engineering company. Nowadays, he was running a business, more specifically, a supplement company. And once again, we got back in contact and we were talking, and I asked him, I was like, you were an engineer and now you're doing business. What allowed for the shift, and what's your life been like since the last time we spoke? And that's when I saw a comeback story happen in real time. Zack told me that ever since he was in College of Engineering, he was not really that academic type of student. He wasn't the type of person that, sat in the library and studied a bunch of other people's formulas. What Zack was always great in was coordinating people, getting information from the right people, and using it in some way to help himself propel. And he said a lot of those soft skills that he learned in College of Engineering through cheating, which is not recommended by the way, helped him with his current company in terms of hiring people, in terms of turning his company into a profitable state, and on how to fire people. But I wanted to know more. I wanted to know what it was like when he was going through that rock bottom. What allowed for that comeback to happen in the first place? And what he said was breathtaking to me because it was so short and to the point. I asked Zack, how were you able to bounce back from tough times? And he said, I simply knew that I could. That's all he said. And that was the main lesson that I got from Zack. Because when he was in this zone, it would have been very easy for him to be like, I can't do anything about this. And when he makes a statement like that, what happens to the brain is that it starts to close off. And I'm pretty sure that that's what he did in the beginning stages, just like most people do whenever they're going through a tough time. That's what is known as the emotional life cycle. It takes some time to accept what has happened. It takes some time to deal with the flurry of roller coasters that's happening. But eventually, there comes a moment of acceptance. And during that moment of acceptance, Zack had nowhere to go but up. And that's when he was able to say something like, I know that I can come back from this moment. And the second that he said that, the subconscious mind started to work in his favor. That's when his past started to morph. It was no longer just random blobs of data of him cheating. Instead, when he looked back at his past now, he saw skill sets that can help him with his future. And that's how a guy like Zack was able to go from the top of the mountain to rock bottom to back to being top of the mountain. But this time, as he was on top of the mountain, it was much different than being on top of the mountain in this stage. This time, he was more humble and he was more perceptive of how good things can come, but good things can easily be taken away. Still, to this day, he operates with that simple mindset. I know that I can come back from this dark moment, and that's the only thing that is needed. Step number 1 in order to turning a bad story to chapter 1 of the greatest story ever told. If you enjoyed today's short story on Zack and emotional intelligence in general, you'll love Limit Breaker, which has 101 of these short stories. The stories range from topics such as public speaking, how to deal with very difficult times when you don't feel like moving, how to improve your social skills, how to make better small talk, and many more other topics. Limit Breaker is currently available on Amazon. Be sure to grab your copy on Amazon or just go straight to the description box and the pinned comment right on below. And thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel.